Aquarius, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot here to do a little reading for you. For the last probably 12 days, I've been waiting for new equipment, which I now have, so I'm excited to be back, and we're going to do a reading for you. All right, so we're going to start by laying out the cards. And I'm really not completely sure what direction this is going to go in, but let's see. All right. So something that I don't normally do is I am going to turn over all the cards at once. All right. Feeling called to do that. So we have Six of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Chariot. We have the Fool. All right, and we have the Emperor. Okay, so Aquarius, so I feel like, let's take a look at the Six of Pentacles first, okay? So the Six of Pentacles, basically, this card is asking, you know, what is showing up right now? You are either seeing what's showing up right now as a problem or an opportunity. Six of Pentacles is about give and take, right? This gentleman here is giving to one. The other person is waiting. The other person in this card here appears to not be as important to this person here in the middle. Which could represent you, or you could be in one of these two positions here. So I feel like what is showing up for you right now is you're giving to something, you're probably not giving your all to something. All right, so it could be a person that you're not giving your all to. It could be yourself that you're not giving your all to. It could be your work that you're not giving your all to. This card is my card for split energy. You know, split energy says that you are in between, you're probably in between two situations in your life, or you feel pulled in two directions, or maybe even more. All right, so that's what I feel like is in some way going on for you now. You can apply it to your life however you see fit, right? The heaviest energy here is water energy. So what's really important right now is either who or what, you are emotionally tied to, okay? And it feels like with the Chariot here, the Chariot in a lot of ways could represent split energy as well. So it feels like, for you, it feels like your head is telling you one thing, represented by the Black Sphinx, while your heart is telling you something else. So your heart is being pulled in one direction. Your head is saying, maybe I should go in a different direction. Your head is what really speaks to your fears, but it's really your fears or your thoughts that are speaking to you in a way. Your heart really doesn't lie to you. That's why so often you hear follow your heart, because your heart doesn't lie to you. But your thoughts, your head, your logic can lie to you. So, when it comes to whatever situation that you're dealing with here, it's probably, a situation of head and heart. There is something that you are giving more attention to than something else. That should tell you something. Three of Pentacles is about coming together. Two of Pentacles is about indecision. So whatever it is that you feel yourself being most indecisive about, it's probably because your heart isn't in it. Okay? So this reading, I feel like for you, is about really deciphering, truly how you feel about something. And that can be hard because a lot of times our heart is telling us something that may create discomfort in the physical world, right? This person here is much more uncomfortable than this person because this person is being given some money or being given some food. This person isn't. This is the epitome of what everybody's afraid of, right? Being left with nothing. Being left with no money, being left with no food, being left with no love, right? So your heart is trying to pull you really towards putting you in front of what's best for you. The universe never sets you up for failure. It just doesn't. So when we are taking a look here at the Page of Cups, so this is emotional energy, but it's also emotional communication. So it feels like with the Page of Cups, there's somebody that maybe you need to share your heart with more. You might be, you're giving someone something. You're giving them maybe tidbits of how you feel. But you're really not allowing yourself to fully engage emotionally. And that's why the Page of Cups is showing up in between these two cards, right? Because Six of Pentacles, split energy, Chariot, split energy. We're talking about, a decision or a direction that is calling on you really to follow your heart. There's a lot of people out there that will say, I'm not going to do something stupid and like follow my heart. I'm going to be logical and practical about this. Well, logical and practical are kind of the equivalent to safety. And there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. But there is in the bigger scheme of things. Safety and comfort definitely serve you in the now, but will they serve you in the future? And the reason I say that is because we have the Fool here, all right? This is the energy that is around you right now. Something is telling you, probably your heart, something is telling you to take a risk, to get comfortable with the unknown. Okay, so there is some unknown quality here. The unknown quality, the unknown energy here is, there's a very practical avenue to take here that's probably the advice that you would give somebody. Usually, and that's why when listening to other people's advice, okay, there's no way that someone else's advice can come from the heart. And you might say, how could that be? Right? Most people are going to give you practical advice. Okay? What makes sense? What's logical? The only person that can give you advice based on what's in your heart is you. That's why sometimes when we tell people what's in our heart, or that we're going to follow our heart, or we're going to do, what we feel is right or correct for us, that's why other people can't understand it sometimes. It's because most people, and including us, right? we're going to give practical advice, because we don't want to see somebody take a step that, take a step into the unknown that could, lead them to walking off the cliff. But a risk, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. But the bigger the risk, the bigger the fall sometimes too. And that, is showing up here in your energy. You're not sure. You might be afraid to take a risk. You might be really clinging to safety, which what that is doing for you right now in whatever situation we're talking about here for you, and it's going to be different for everybody. It's causing you to hold back emotionally. You're sharing bits and pieces about what you emotionally want to do, but you're not sharing your complete heart. You're sharing a small piece of it, whether it's, and I'm pretty much staying away from the situation. The situation is really up to you. All right. Now, we've got two cards here of Aries. Okay, so for some of you, you might be dealing with an Aries, you might be dealing with a Cancer. So we got water and fire energy here. But this is also, because we have two major arcana here, this is the energy around you. So these are almost two opposing sides of Aries energy, right? The Emperor here is about controlling his situation, his environment. He's about controlling perhaps even other people. The Fool, I always call this card, the Fool in love. Being in love with a person, being in love with an idea, being in love with a goal, or being in love with the idea of a future that allows you to be excited and get excited about what's next. That's what the Fool is. The Fool, every opportunity is available to the Fool. For the Emperor, which could also be referenced to as divine masculine for some of you, this is the energy of control. It can be the energy of being extremely vulnerable or feeling emasculated. But this is the energy around you. So we've got split energy here, really, when you look at it, because we've got opposite spectrum, opposite energy of Aries energy here, wanting to be in complete control and wanting to completely surrender. So whatever the situation is in your life, I feel like that's where you're struggling. And then we have this very small emotional energy here in the middle. But what that does tell me, I feel like, is that ultimately you are listening to your heart. You may just not be sharing it. You might emotionally know what you want to give to. You might emotionally know what direction you want to go in. But you're not really sharing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because remember, when you share something that you are really emotionally drawn to, emotionally connected to, emotionally drawn to, whatever it is, you share that with somebody, okay? It's going to be reacted to with logic. It's going to be reacted to with logic, practicality, desire for comfort for you, desire for safety for you. Because nobody knows your heart but you. So nobody can respond to your emotions. Nobody can respond to your emotions the way that you would. That's why, again, when somebody is seen as following their heart, they might seem like they're a little bit askew from what they should be doing. Okay? But you know in your heart what it is that what you want to be doing here, the direction you want to go in. So let's take a look at that Page of Cups. Let's take a look at that Page of Cups, because that's the card that I feel like is kind of dictating your direction right now. All right, so we have Temperance. So, you know, I feel like where you are tempering, okay? we've got the Two of Cups here that the Temperance angel is holding. So there's something that you're emotionally connected to, and I feel like this card is confirming it. There's something that you're emotionally connected to that you are tempering at the same time. So let's look at the two cards that I feel like are representing this split energy. Whoops. Okay. Six of Pentacles, Star. All right, so the star is card of Aquarius, right? So, but this is also about, this can be about healing, this can be about your heart's desire. So there's a split energy confirmed within you around what your heart's desire is drawing you towards. The Chariot, movement. So what do we have here? Judgment. So by following your heart, what this is telling me is this is possibly about going back to something that worked in the past, going back to a person, going back to a situation, or it's about something brand new that creates a new version of you, or a new version of something that you are emotionally connected to. And again, I feel like this comes with following your heart. So this split energy with the Fool and the Emperor, you know, do I take this? Do I take a risk? Do I do something new? Do I take that leap of faith? Or do I respect what I have in front of me? Do I respect and appreciate knowing what's coming tomorrow? This is not knowing what's coming tomorrow. This is having a pretty darn good idea of what's coming tomorrow. And again, safety, control. So let's look at the Fool. Let's look at the Emperor. Okay. The Fool. All right, so we have the High Priestess. Okay. All right, so, you know, I feel like by listening to your intuition, okay, which your intuition ultimately is coming from your heart, all right? So by listening to your intuition, one more, Seven of Pentacles. By taking the step, the Fool, there's some next step, because Seven of Pentacles talks about, you know, what's next. So the next step, I feel like is going to show up by trusting your heart and trusting your intuition. Again, your heart doesn't lie to you. Your head sometimes does, okay? And that's because thoughts happen to us. Feelings are different. You know, feelings are really a vibration, that you're experiencing, okay? You feel fear. You can think about things that scare you, but you feel fear. It's different, right? That's the best way I can describe the difference between thoughts and feelings, right? Your heart starts pounding, your hands get sweaty, you know, you might get chills. You feel your feelings. It's physical, it's a vibration. The Emperor. And then we've got, look at that, we've got the Ten of Swords. So the desire to want to control and be safe in this situation, and you know, and I'm not saying that it's not the best thing for you right now, but it's something that if you're feeling the energy of the Fool to take a risk, to step out into the unknown when it comes to what's next, you know, I feel like your intuition is speaking to you right now with safety and comfort. It's like, what are you betraying here? You could very well be betraying yourself or betraying your own heart. One more here. All right, so we have the Eight of Pentacles. All right, so betrayal. Betrayal, I feel it's a betrayal of your progress. Okay? This is a card for work. It's a card for work in progress. I feel like you betray this rebirth or this potential reconciliation of some kind by not listening to your heart, by not listening to your intuition. All right, so I'm going to use this deck here. Use this deck, and what else am I going to use? All right, so let's use some emotional cards here because I feel like we've got a lot of Pentacles, but we had a lot of Cups, and I feel like this is a Head and Heart. You know what? We're going to use emotion, and we're going to use yellow, which is thoughts. All right, and then we're going to use these universe cards. Okay, so what do we have here? All right, can feel physical pain when seeing someone fall. All right, so this is interesting because this is an example of what I was just talking about, you know, when it comes to fear, that you can feel fear. You know, this might be talking about the fact that you might have the gift of empathy and being able to literally feel someone else's pain. If you've ever watched something on TV that looked like it hurt, if you have an impact pain, meaning when you see somebody fall down or you see somebody, you know, get smacked with a ball, or, you know, no matter what it is, and you actually have a feeling of impact pain, then you probably are a very empathetic person. Okay, so this is telling you that, you know, you might have that gift of empathy, which is a beautiful gift. What do we have here? Thinking others' judgment. Thinking others' judgment are crippling you. Okay, so that's interesting. So that might be where your fear is, you know, you might be thinking of doing something, shifting your life in a particular direction, and your overwhelming thought is, I'm going to be judged, or a particular person is going to judge me, or my family is going to judge me for going in the direction of my heart. And, you know, because you could be very, very empathetic, and you might have a tendency to listen to your intuition, you know, again, not everybody has that. And it's interesting when you grow up with it, and of course, you know, I definitely have that particular gift. And sometimes, most of the time, I call it a gift. Sometimes, you know, I call it a curse when I let this overtake me. Because I can feel what other people are feeling, and I can feel other people's intentions, and I can feel how they feel. Like, don't put me in a hospital. I will literally take on other people's issues and feelings and pain. I literally leave the hospital, if I'm visiting somebody, feeling that person's pain or the collective pain in that hospital. I can't stand hospitals for that reason. What do we have here? Let's see. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So that's basically saying, you know, allow yourself to go towards what you love and quiet your mind, while quieting your mind through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So, yeah, I just totally let Spirit guide this reading, but it really does feel like a question of head and heart. And because you have some or a lot of tendency towards being a very empathetic person, sometimes that can really skew your decisions. It can really skew how quickly you take action, because not only are you worried about what others might be thinking or judging you on in a particular situation, you can actually feel their judgment. You can feel their, maybe even their disgust with your decision, right? You can feel how they see you. Like I said, it can be a gift and a curse. Your empathy is a gift and a curse. However, when you look at it from the perspective that the universe never steers you wrong, and the universe lives in your heart, okay? It's not steering you wrong. Even if it takes you down a bumpy path, it's because there are a lot of good things for you to see on that path, maybe a lot of good lessons. But it doesn't mean that it's the wrong path. All right, Aquarius, that's for you. It applies to whatever situation you're in, and it's all about listening to the heart, okay? All right, guys, have a great week, and I will talk to you next time. All right, thanks so much. Bye.